As you know, September is National Suicide Prevention Month. This is a time when we're able to promote the importance of suicide prevention and suicide awareness. At Our Children, Our Future, we have chosen to address suicide through the concept of life. We think that the most effective strategy to prevent suicide is life. And in keeping with that, we have asked Henry to come and share with us some of the strategies that he may have used at any point where he has either been close to someone who may have made a suicide attempt, or close to someone who may have had suicidal thoughts or ideation, and to share with us how did he himself deal with that, because that is very traumatic. When someone who's close to you talks about suicide, it can be very traumatic. So Henry, tell us a little bit about your strategies and the ways that you find helpful dealing with suicide prevention.
So my experience with suicide is with my own thoughts of suicide. And the strategies that I used ranged from just feeling proud that I'm alive as a base point. And then the other strategies are basically me changing of my opinion of myself and looking towards my children and changing and reframing what it means to be a father when I had basically lost them, most of them, from my life. I felt very suicidal because my entire life was around being a father, being the best father I could. And I had to change and restructure to being the best father I could in the situation that I'm in. I need to be available and ready for them. And I also have to be there for myself, which was something that I hadn't really done much in my life. So it became an opportunity for me to build myself, go on a journey which I didn't know where it was leading. I've always been very interested and it made me feel good to know where I was going in life. And I was on a journey where I had no idea where I was going. I had no idea how I was going to survive what I was going through. And that brought suicide thoughts to my mind. The pain was just very, very great.
How are you coping with that now, Henry? Now that you have been able to recognize where those thoughts were, the source of those thoughts, how are you able to cope with that on a day-to-day basis?
Well, after those suicidal thoughts and with those early ways that I dealt with it, I started seeing life as bonus time. That this was, I used to remember a video game called Pole Position, where you beat the time and you got extra time. So what am I going to do with extra time? How am I going to impact this world with time that I could have chosen not to have had? And I've chosen to build myself and to look at what I want to do with my life and how I am going to be there to help other people, and in fact to be there for my children. And recently I'm dealing with the expression of some thoughts of depression from my children. I'm available on a dime's notice. I've never rejected my children, no matter the pain that I'm suffering, being very far away from them, not seen most of them for over 4 years, with all the challenges of getting back in their life and getting the rights I should have as a father, which I'm not getting. But really, this has been in some senses a blessing, because I've been able to, tap into myself and to create appreciation of myself, and to really start things and do things and try new things that, like I said, I wouldn't have had. I'm very grateful that I have this time.
I really like that thought of tapping into yourself, because so many people don't realize the power that lies within them.
Yes.
Talk to us a little bit about some of the strategies and the things that you get involved in from tapping into yourself.
So by asking, I've been able to ask questions that I wasn't asking before about myself, about life, about what's my purpose. I've actually this campaign, in some sense, my being alive is a part of this campaign. Being a founder of the We Care Forever Foundation, working with our children, our future, with Veronica and her amazing staff, and trying things that really I never would have tried before. Finding a new power, because I was able to stand in my power, and I have a lot of joy that I am here for my children, for my friends, finding a whole new class of friends because of the energy that I put out now, and not being scared to really try anything, and to try things that really I never would have done, to reach out to people I never would have reached out to see a different type of life, to see a different type of struggle, of more simple, more basic, because I really see it sometimes that I have nothing to lose. I pretty much was at a point where I chose to lose it. And for myself and for my children mostly, I was able to power through that.
I think that is so amazing, Henry. And it's important for others to know they have the power inside of them. They don't have to look to anyone outside of them. What are some things you can help them to do? Simple things on a day-to-day basis. What can they get up? What would make them get up in the morning? What would make them want to power through some things in their own lives?
For me, I started to depend on people, and to open up to people. And some of my best friends dropped me like a brick, and people who were on the periphery or I didn't even know yet became tremendous allies for me. And I took that risk, which I wouldn't have taken before. I also reached out and started thinking about working with people in groups I never thought about working with, and going really far away from my comfort zone, to start learning, to really challenge myself, to open up, to create a whole new way of thinking. And it's been very, very exciting. Still don't know where things are going to end up, but I think that's what's enabled me to do these things, because my plan was basically ripped to shreds, and under the circumstances, and there is no plan, and therefore many more things can actually occur and happen under those circumstances.
So what you're saying is that as long as you're alive, there's hope that anything can happen.
There's definitely hope, and that's really one of my driving forces, is to create that hope with children, with groups that are lacking hope, lacking opportunity. I see humanity as one group now, and one group saying that they're better in some way than someone else, or someone saying there's someone better than else. That has no place in my life. I've said for a long time, there's two types of people who are good because they're good, and people who are good because they're not somebody else. And that's something that I think I really live by, and I think that it's just so important. And I'm just so excited that as my kids are actually coming back into my life, I'm here. I didn't all the stories of how I disappeared and whatever was said about me. And there were horrible things that were said about me, and I couldn't believe.
But you
And
were able to power through that and come out on the other end a much, much
yeah,
better
and
father.
honestly, I don't care what people really say about me anymore. It's not, it has no relevance to me. And I'm sure people will say things and will continue to say things that about me, which are
Let
not
it just
true, and I
pass
could care
over.
less.
Let
Yeah,
it pass over.
I'm on my mission, and I have no interest in that.
Wonderful. So in these last minutes, Henry, I want you to just encourage anyone out there who may be feeling hopeless, who may be feeling down. Encourage them, tell them about the Suicide Prevention Lifeline, a number that they can call, which is in front of us right now, and will be part of everything we do, that they can call that number at any time to get help immediately, and also to reach out to any of their local mental health providers.
Yeah, I think it's very important to reach out. The loneliness that I felt was overwhelming. I remember spending, I think, a week straight. I did not leave my room. I didn't turn on the light. Actually took a few shots at that time to get through. But reaching out,
A few shots of what, so that we're
oh,
clear?
a few shots of whiskey here and there
Okay, all
to
right.
slow my mind, because it was spinning completely out of control. I was trying to grasp for control, and it was gone.
Yeah.
It was so hopeless. I was thinking 5-6 times a day about ending it. And
But you powered through.
it's so important to have the hotline. It's so important to put it on your phone, call it, put friends on your phone, people who are there for you. If they're not there for you, you got to get new friends. You have to you have to reach out and find people who are of a different caliber most times in your life. If you have those friends already, that's fantastic. But if you don't, you will find new ones, and you will find people who are of a different class that you will start fitting into. And going through this kind of a challenge will make you into a much better and spectacular person, I believe. It creates a tremendous amount of opportunity for you, and I believe that seriously. So put the hotline on your phone, put a few speed dials of people on your phone. I'm still not so good at it myself, but call them, bother them, and also you will find yourself being there for them, because they need someone to be there for them as well, and you'll be that person. And you're going to find a completely different type of lifestyle, I do believe.
Excellent. Thanks, Henry.
Thank you so much. All the best. Good luck.